Hi guys, I'm Swagata from Team MissMalini.
And I'm Rashmi, and we're here with Imtiaz Ali right now to talk about love, life, and relationships. We're two women who fully believe that our concept of love and relationships are shaped from the movies. And a lot of the credit, of course, goes to who we're sitting with right now, Imtiaz Ali. It's going to be 1 year of Tamasha, which is a movie. I know that we were talking about it for weeks after it released because no one could fully grasp it. No one could fully, get their head around it. And we're here 1 year later, and we're going to talk to him all about love, life, and relationships.
Yes.
And he's looking a little concerned right now.
No, I'm not concerned. I'm just very happy that you thought that I'm fit for this conversation.
Of course, we are
Thank
on a
you very
coffee date
much.
with you.
Coffee date.
Thank you very much for holding me in such high esteem and giving me this time to talk about all these things. Fascinating. I must say that now that Tamasha finishes 1 year of its existence, I feel that I'm the proudest about this film. This is the movie of mine that at this moment I like the most. And there are lots of things in this film that I feel are interesting, they are nice. And also I feel that this is my oldest thought. I remember myself as a kid having this thought, which finally manifested in this film. And I feel I'd read somewhere that pain is temporary, but film is permanent. And film being permanent is a very big relief for us because it can be watched again and again.
Right.
And years later. So it's I understand that not everything in Tamasha gets revealed easily in the first viewing, but I hope that people give it a chance again and again, and then it will reveal more and more, I think.
One of the things after I watched Tamasha, I was like, there's travel, there's good looking people, this could easily be such a nice, sweet, feel good movie about love and travel, but because it's your movie, it's not going to be that easy for the audience.
There has to be something.
I'm always ready with our
tricky.
tissues. I have to cry during an event.
It has to be a little uncomfortable, and why do you think that is?
I don't know. I don't want to make it uncomfortable to.
No, but in a good
But
way.
it's bittersweet. It's the nice kind of.
So I tend my
feel.
apology to you and to everybody who thinks that you got to keep tissues ready for my film. There's nothing of that sort that I intend or plan. But I don't know. I just feel that I see life like this. I see if it's just sugar sweet happy. I would hate that kind of film. Actually, I'd find it very boring and monotonous. That only good things are happening and good-looking people are saying good things. And it's really boring. So sometimes you got to come up with something which is not so nice to begin with. And there is this very interesting saying, which actually is a part of a poem that comes from Rabindranath Tagore, and he said that last night when the storm broke my door, I didn't know that you have come to meet me. So sometimes it is from a disaster or a calamity that a very good thing emerges.
And another thing I noticed from Tamasha, and I think probably from all your films in general, is that it's not just about love. You write love stories, of course, but your stories about, I think, love as a means of self-discovery, which you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I felt that in Tamasha, and I felt that even in Jab We Met, that it's not just about, the end goal of the movie is not that, this person has found someone they want to, live with forever. It's more about how you use a relationship, as a vehicle to your personal growth. So do you think that's true?
The first thing I think over here is that you should correct me if I'm wrong, in the way that I don't think a filmmaker is anybody to categorize his own work into any slot. I feel a filmmaker makes a film, and it's the audience and people around that ascribe the kind of genre that he belongs to. And I keep thinking that I don't make love stories, but since after 6 films everyone says that I make largely love stories, I must be. I'm no one to object to that. What was really your question?
My question is, do you believe that relationships are a form, like they're a vehicle to self-discovery, that we find more and more of ourselves with each relationship?
I feel that a relationship is a discovery of many, many types. It's obvious that a man and a woman who like each other would want to be together. That's the obvious fact. But just being together, even if it becomes a goal, is it only a temporary goal? It's only much later that you discover different things, and you discover, thankfully, different kinds of conflicts in the same relationship, because it keeps it interesting. And then it can be for your personal growth, for the growth of your talent, for the growth of, or for the search of yourself, and so on and so forth. So many things that a relationship gives you. And if it only gives you a body, then it's nothing.
Yeah.
That's just the beginning.
You know, Imtiaz, Before Sunrise happens to be one of my favorite films. So every time I travel, whether it's in train or a flight, I have this fantasy that I'll meet somebody who will sit next to me. I'll have a beautiful conversation with that person. Maybe it will translate into us exchanging our numbers. Maybe it will
Or spending
not.
the night at the park.
Yeah. Okay. Or maybe it won't.
Yeah.
But you know, that memory, that conversation will stay with me and will mean so much to me. But it has never happened. I'll always have uncles and aunties with cranky kids sitting next to me. But since your movies always involve so many journeys, travels, and in Tamasha we saw both of them meeting during a trip. So has something like that happened to you?
Yeah, I have been luckier than you as far as travel companionship is concerned, for sure. And I've had many instances of interesting people while in travel. In fact, my friends used to feel, when I used to travel to Delhi from Jamshedpur, they used to feel that I'm so lucky. There is some charm that is, it's not even charm, it's magic that happens with me. They always wanted to travel with me, because inevitably the most good looking girl on the platform will be on the seat next to me.
Wow.
So I had devastating luck, very good luck, and a lot of interesting incidents. And some not so memorable accidents have also happened as a result of this kind of company. But also interesting conversations, you know. I remember being on footboard with a girl and talking and being aware or being made aware of the fact that if the train stops, and we were traveling by Utkal Express through the Bhind Morena and the Chambal Ghati belt, okay? So we are these city people going from one to the other place, and so the TC, the ticket examiner actually, he said that आपको मालूम है अगर ट्रेन रुकती है और कोई अगर इस लड़की को खींच के ले गया तो आप अपने आप को माफ कर पाओगे कभी? And suddenly the thought struck me that while we go in our narrow circles, you know, on that railway tracks, the unfamiliar world, or the fascinating world, or the dark world that just exists on the sidelines, can intrude into your world so quickly.
Yeah.
So I feel that these things stay on with you. For instance, I can see a reflection of this one thought in at least 2 or 3 of my films. So it is the journey. It's not only that what happened with this girl, and I don't know where she is now, and I didn't want the TTE to come. There was nothing romantic going on anyway, but I didn't want to be told that yaar darwaza band karo and all of that. But these kind of things make for very, very interesting thoughts in your mind.
And you know, as Swagata said, journeys is a constant in your story. But one other thing that I feel I've noticed in all of your films, and I spoke to you about this once, and you explained it to me as the elastic phenomenon. When I asked you that separation seems to be a huge theme in your films, and you know, it's and you told me it's like the elastic. When the elastic is there, it's fine, nothing's wrong with it. But the minute you pull at it, that's when it pulls back. So do you think that in the same way separation is important, like the minute you pull someone apart, it's something that draws them together again?
Yeah, not only me, but millions of philosophers and writers have written things like absence makes the heart grow fonder, or even that familiarity breeds contempt. or lots of things like that have been written. You only miss what you don't have, and lots of people have written, like so many poems are actually springing to mind. Whether that happens in reality, I feel it does to some extent, and it actually tells you the value of what is not with you. So that, of course, but I think that is still a simplistic way of approaching things, because having something in your possession or in your proximity also makes you love that thing more.
Yeah.
It is not so simple just to say that if something goes away, I love it. If it remains with me, also I love it in a different way. But of course, there is this other thing, which is that the best light is provided by a burning bridge. Like if you've crossed the bridge and gone the other side, and when you've burned that bridge, you never go back. And then that light shows you the value or the worth of what you've lost.
So it's all like from what you're saying, it sounds like a balance between absence makes the heart grow fond and out of sight, out of mind.
Exactly.
Like how do you
that's
tread
true.
that line?
Yeah, you tread that line very instinctively. You have to just be very instinctive and go with the flow and just feel that I don't want to do this or I have to do this and do those things. And only in retrospect that can you think about it and try to justify it or try to make stories of it.
Unlike you, my luck hasn't been great in meeting cool co-passengers. So in our generation, actually, there are so many times then we want to talk to new people, but we are only meeting our friends' boyfriends, and that's all. So many of the people have to download dating apps, and I have also tried one. And my bio used to read as a believer of old school love stuck in the wrong generation. So what is your take on dating apps? Like, would you use one if you were
not recognized?
I think dating apps or even marriage apps are interesting ways as long as they get you to meet people. There's a friend of mine who was in the so-called marriage market. He never wanted to get married. He just wanted to meet interesting girls. So he used to go and meet them for arranged marriage, and then when they were left alone, he used to say that I don't want to get married, etc. But if you want to go on a date with me, then we can go drinking at this place.
Nice.
So it's just a way to meet people. Any way of meeting people is not a bad idea. Dating apps have their own. I've not tried them, but I'm sure that they have their own charm. You must tell me more about it.
not
She
really?
can.
Yeah.
Do you feel as a filmmaker you grow with every film that you do? Has your understanding of love deepened?
I hope so. I don't know.
Because I remember the last time you told me that it's your incomprehension of the term love.
For sure. I mean, there is no way that I can even begin to understand the word love. There is no way that I can even share my exasperation of the fact that I don't understand it at all, and people seem to be talking about this as though they know it. I don't. I will not say that I do, and no one should follow what I feel. But I have different perspectives of this word. I have seen different faces of this world called love while making different movies. Yeah.
Imtiaz, you mentioned that Tamasha right now happens to be the movie that you are most proud of.
Yeah.
You're also wearing a Tamasha t-shirt, please zoom in. So, you have also said that when you look back and see some of your old works, you find a lot of faults in them. Even Karan Johar once said that, how did I make Kuch Kuch Hota Hai? And we have also grown up with you guys, like not that much, but maybe a little. But we continue to love Jab We Met, Kuch Kuch Hota Hai equally. So why is it that you don't love those movies as much?
Because the time
anymore?
you said you don't like Jab We Met anymore,
Yeah, we were
my
so
heart
heartbroken.
broke. My heart
Oh, I'm
broke.
sorry for that. Sorry for that.
Oh.
But I must tell you that the film belongs to the filmmaker only as long as he's making the film. The moment he finishes making the film, it starts to belong to the audience. and those people of the audience that love it. It's like I build this, I make this room for you. But then you live in it. I go away. I'm making some other house now.
That's deep.
Right? I'm old. So, it's your house to love. It's your film. It's your song. It's your story, your character to enjoy. So, of course, because my work, my job is to make movies and to, make songs and all of that requires to be done. I will find faults in what I have done, and I will. It will really stress me out. It will give me sleepless nights that I don't know how I did that scene. I should not have shot it like that. I should not have cast this person. Maybe the song is wrong. Sometimes everything seems wrong, but it's up to me to try to learn from my mistakes and enjoy the films that I see or have seen as a viewer. I cannot listen to my songs. There are only 2 or 3 songs that I have ever worked on that I can bear to listen to.
Which are those?
Phir se ud chala.
That tutudu part was my ringtone for a long time.
Yeah, that's a very cool ringtone. Very admirable.
Thanks.
And Duriya. And Tum Ho is great to listen to.
Yeah.
Tum Ho you can listen to. And you can't listen to Nagada. You can't listen to. I can't listen to. And we twist. I can drive the car to the wall if or ho is playing. I cannot take it or ho.
Why?
It just happens, when you perhaps work too much on a film or a song, then it has that kind of reaction. It stops entertaining you. Then it's really entertaining. Or Ho was so entertaining while I was making it. It really drew me in, and perhaps as a result of that, I can't bear it anymore. But then it's for other people. I've made it for you. So if you like it, listen to it. My job is done, and I feel very grateful.
It's not hard to let go.
Not at all. I'm very happy to let it go.
Okay, we were just talking about how you said that it's your incomprehension of the term love, and you said that love is. It's how do you describe it? How does anyone describe it? There are no words for it. But then, how do you, as a writer, capture those emotions in your stories?
I don't capture love.
Okay.
I see a girl in a certain situation, I mean in my mind, and I write it, and I see a guy, and I write what happens, and I think about what they could have done, what's he saying to her, where is he going to meet her again, and those kinds of things. And there's a story between them. And that's what it is. And it's not, I don't try to even think, I've never given an instruction to an actor saying that you are in love with this person. Because it's the most misleading thing to say. I might love a particular person in a different way, and the same me will love another person in a different way. So if someone says, okay, you love her, so do this scene, I might slap her because that's how I love a particular person, perhaps.
Right.
That's not on.
And Imtiaz, in all your movies, I've noticed, like in most of them, there's always a very distinct sequence where the two people are hugging each other. And I'll tell you, in Jab We Met, when they finally meet later again, that time they hug.
Koi aa raha hai, na?
Yes.
Wow.
And in Rockstar, Jaldi Mein Ho Kya, that bit, when he hugs
Good
her
scene.
again. Then in Highway, he's awkward, Randeep Hooda does not know, but he still embraces her because he feels bad for her. So, is that...
No, she embraces him first.
Yes,
and
yes.
Then
And he's
also,
awkward, and then finally he
also,
holds her. So, is that something that you do consciously, or it just happens? Like, hugs matter?
It happens.
Okay.
And when it does, then I realize that it's happened again in this film.
But please make that your...
No, I don't want to make it a signature, and I have tried to cut it off the film. For instance, the one in Highway that you're talking about, I wanted to cut it off because I knew that it has happened in a few films before that. But then I thought it's really not fair to Highway, just because, I mean, Highway doesn't care that there is a Jab We Met or a rock star before it, no?
Exactly.
So why should Highway suffer? So I thought, let it be.
Yeah, and hugs are beautiful. We are hugging all the time in office. Cool. So, can you tell us? Sometimes I say something funny, then I think he'll laugh, but you are like this, so I guess.
No, because I don't want to
Stoic
embarrass
expression.
you.
Oh, okay.
I don't want to embarrass you, because when you said we guys are hugging, like,
But we
yeah, I really wish you better luck in your travels.
Thank you. Maybe next time.
And all the best to you. Otherwise, you are always there for her.
always.
Not just her, all of us. In Team MissMalini is all about love. If you come to our office, we'll hug you also.
Okay, I'll get a t-shirt that color and then I'll come. Okay, because I'm sure that Malini will not allow me to walk in with
Of
like
course.
clothes like
Yeah,
this.
you
I
need
have to
pink.
wear
It has
something
pink.
pink.
It has pink, it's nice.
That's why I wore it.
That's
why I
you
wore it. And Rahman sir's name written in pink is like so cool.
So cool.
Okay.
Okay, and
Also, I wanted to ask you, it's a big thing in Rockstar that the main character says that he cannot make good music unless he's had heartbreak. Like, it's heartbreak equals to creativity. Do you think
No,
that's
I don't think so.
not true?
No. It's there is no rule about these things.
Right.
And you don't even know when your heart gets broken. It's not so.
but Khatana Bhai Sahab tells him no that you have to get your heart broken.
Yeah, he does. But
And-
he goes about mechanically. But it कहते हैं ना कि नहीं वो थोड़ी वल्गर बात है, वो नहीं कह पाऊंगा.
New side of Imtiaz.
हाँ, but then दिल जब टूटता है ना तो आवाज नहीं आती. So you hear it much later. So it's in retrospect that you realize that, oh, that's the time my heart was broken. You don't realize it's not like he goes and says तू मेरी girlfriend बन जा, rock कर देंगे and all that, and she says FO and he says मेरा दिल टूट गया. It doesn't really happen so quickly like that.
That's true.
And do you believe in the concept of soulmates?
I don't know. I think my level of information about all this is not very high, and maybe
You were
by
saying this?
constantly visiting your site, I'll know a bit more about it. But the point is that
Oh, no.
soulmates, I don't really know. I know Soul Curry. I was in Goa recently, and I went to this beautiful place where all of you must go. It's called Ritz Classic.
It's
And-
classic.
Yeah, it's a
Everybody
fish-
is going to like your page now.
fish thali place. Beautiful. Soul curry, amazing. I also know soul fry.
I can't tell whether he's making fun of us or not.
No, not at all.
he is.
So have you been to
I'm-
Soul
I'm
Fry in
telling you,
Bangalore? Have you been? Soul Fry is an extremely good place to eat. I have gone there a long time back actually with a friend of mine, and there was another place called. There was a place called Soul Curry actually. That was somewhere in town, you know.
Okay.
So many things to do with soul, you know. And there's also Hotel Solmar in Goa.
Okay, guys. Thanks. And lastly, can you tell us?
But imagine Solmar. It's like,
It's deep too.
it's very deep.
Yeah.
It's
I'm
like
sure the
somebody
soul curry
stole
is
my
also very
soul.
Curry.
Soul
Kill.
curry, soul
Deep.
fry, deep.
Deep fry.
I'm all about deep.
This is live and this has happened. And do you want to ask?
If I think of more soul words, I'll tell you. I'll SMS.
Okay. And
No, I'm very scared to ask any question now.
yeah.
But of course, you do know what this is.
So, and can you lastly tell us a little about your upcoming?
Have you seen
film?
Merchant of Venice? Have you read Merchant of Venice?
I had. When
I
was a
had.
kid.
Okay, so there is this character called Shylock.
Yeah.
So there's a dialogue of him, and William Shakespeare has written this, that he was, he had a knife and he was sharpening the knife on the sole of his shoe. So one of the characters over there said, not on your soul, but on your soul should you sharpen your knife. In the way that your soul is much harder than your soul.
Wow. Everybody is clapping. He's laughing inside.
No, No, I'm not.
He's laughing
I'm not.
outside
I really
also.
like the word soul.
It is beautiful.
And there are other adjectives that can be attached before that, and that gives a very different meaning to this word, but I'm not going to go there.
Okay.
Because I think I've done enough with this word.
Yeah, I think so. Also.
I think, yeah, we can make an entire blog out of
Souls.
Yeah. And lastly, can you tell us a little about your upcoming film? Is it inspired from Guide or is it just a rumor?
No, my film, the one that I'm making right now, is not inspired from Guide at all, and it's not inspired from any film. I wish it was. Maybe it would have made it a better film, but unfortunately, it's inspired by nothing.
Okay.
You know, it's just a story that I wrote, and I'm making this film. What can I say about it? Everything is confidential. I can't tell you who's acting in it. I can't tell you who's directing it or who's written it.
We know who's directing it though. I think I have an idea.
Well, I mean, don't rely on hearsay and rumors. See it with your own eyes to believe it.
We'll meet you again during the release.
I'm
so
sure
that
it's
you
a
can
very
benefit
soulful
and-
film.
Yeah.
Yeah, full.
Soulful.
Wow, nice one.
Thanks.
Alright guys, it was...
On this note,
Yes.
on this soulful note.
Wow. Lastly, can you tell the audience any message for everybody, because we love Tamasha so much, they love Tamasha so much, and the movie is completing 1 year. So
Thank you. I shall see you later. I remember when the film was releasing and we were all very angsty about whether the film is going to do well or not. I said these words, I don't know where they came from, but then Deepika and Ranbir and I were in a movie theater waiting for the audience to get out, and like Deepika said, what do you think the movie will be like? So I just said these words. I said, this movie will take 2 years for us to find out how it was, how it's doing. So 1 more year.
One more.
And maybe not, maybe it'll take even more years. But it's a movie that the most heartening thing about this film, or the most heartening thing of the audience reaction to this film has been that lots of people have come and said that I have given up the job that I did not like, but I was doing it only for a sense of security after seeing this film, and wish me all the best. And many people have said that, and not only about jobs but also about various other things in life, that was just something that you were clinging on to with a sense of security or with a sense of having nothing else to do or not having the confidence to do what you wanted to do. But it has affected some people like that, and I'm just grateful that someone got pushed beyond the edge of his comfort by a certain film that I was involved with. Thank you.
alright guys, thank you for joining. Bye.
Ta-da. If you like the video, subscribe, like, comment, tell us what you want.